So friends, today we will see random experiment, sample space and what do you mean by event. So random experiments are nothing but the experiments or trials when performed repeatedly giving different results or outcomes are called as random experiments. That is, suppose you perform some experiment repeatedly, then that gives different results or different outcomes, then that experiment is called as a random experiment. Next, sample space, a set S consisting of all possible outcomes of a random experiment is called a sample space, which corresponds to the universal set. Here sample space means if you toss a coin, then you will get two possible cases, that is head and tail. If you toss a coin, you will get two possible cases, that is head and tail. The set of all possible cases are known as sample space. Next is event. An event E is a subset of the sample space S. A particular outcome, that is an element in S, is called as sample. If E1 and E2 are two events, then union of E1 and E2 is the event. Here in the union of E1 and E2, either E1 or E2 or both are the events. In the intersection of E1 and E2, that is E1 intersection E2 is the event. Here both E1 and E2 should be an event, then only we say that E1 and E2 are intersection of E1 and E2 is event. Next, E1 dash is the event that occurs if E1 does not occur. E1 minus E2 is the event. Here E1 is event but E2 is not event. Here for example we have throwing a cubic die. A number appears at the top. The sample space consists, if you throw a cubic die consists 6 faces. So here possible number is 6. There are 6 possible numbers. So sample space is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Suppose E1 is the event of getting an odd number at the top. Here in the sample space nothing but all possible cases. So here possible cases are 6. So all possible cases means set of all 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. E1 is the event getting an odd number at the top. Here odd numbers are 1, 3 and 5. And E2 is the event of getting an even number. Then here even numbers are 2, 4 and 6. So E1 is the set which contains odd numbers, and E2 is the set or event which contains even numbers. So E1 and E2 are subset of a sample space. Yes. Now axioms of probability. If S is a sample space and E is the set of all events, then each event A in E we associate a unique real number P, that is probability of A, known as the probability of event A, if the following axioms are satisfied. These are known as axioms of probability. Now these three axioms are known as axioms of probability. So P of S is nothing but here sample space. So P of S is equal to 1. Next, for every, that is probability of sample space should be equal to 1. For every event A in E, as we know that this A is subset of event E. So our probability of this event A lies between 0 and 1. If A1, A2, A3 and so on An are mutually exclusive events of E, then we can write probability of A1 union, A2 union and so on union An can be written as probability of A1 plus probability of A2 plus and so on probability of An. So this axiom will help us while solving theorems. So now we will see addition rule. So here addition rule states that if A and B are any two events of S, that is sample space, which are not mutually exclusive, then probability of A union B is equal to probability of A plus probability of B minus probability of A intersection B. So this is very important. So we have to prove this one. So let us see the proof. Now we prove the result using Venn diagram. So here Venn diagram is taken as like this. Here we are taking a sample S, that is our universal set. So here we have two events A and B. So we will take two events here. This is event A and this is event B. This part is our A intersection B, and this part is A intersection B bar, means except B part, and this part is A bar intersection B, means except this A part. This is A part. So accept this A part. Now from this figure we can write A as, event A as A intersection B bar, this part union this part, because this is our A. So we can write A as A intersection B bar union A intersection B, means this part. And also B can be written as B is equal to A bar intersection B union, means this part union this part, A intersection B. Now I take probability on both the side to this. So you'll get probability of A is equal to probability of, from our axiom 3, as I told that axiom 3 states that if A1, A2 and so on An are mutually exclusive events E, then probability of A1 union A2 and so on can be written as probability of A1 plus probability of A2 plus and so on probability of An. So this can be written as, this is in terms of A1 union A2. So probability of this whole thing can be written as probability of A intersection B bar plus probability of A intersection B. Since A intersection B bar and A intersection B are disjoint. Disjoint means intersection of these two terms is equal to pi. So as we saw in our last video, we saw the definition of disjoint. If intersection of this term and this term is equal to empty, that is pi, then we say that these two are disjoint. We take probability on both the side for B also. So we will get probability of B is equal to, now this is also in terms of probability of A1 union A2, which is probability of A1 plus probability of A2. So this is also written as probability of A bar intersection B plus probability of A intersection B. Since A bar intersection B and A intersection B are also here disjoint. Now here we have used axiom, third axiom of probability. Next, here we have used third axiom of probability. That is, probability of A1 union A2 can be written as probability of A1 plus probability of A2. Here A1 and A2 are mutually exclusive. Now we add these two. So we will get probability of A. We add these two. So we will get probability of A plus probability of B is equal to RHS probability of A intersection B bar plus probability of A intersection B plus probability of A bar intersection B plus probability of A intersection B. Now I consider these three terms. Because now probability of A intersection B plus probability of A intersection B bar plus probability of A intersection B plus probability of A bar intersection B can be written as, means probability of this part plus probability of this part plus probability of this term can be written as, means whole term, this whole term, total term, which is nothing but what? A union B. Yes, this is whole term is nothing but A union B. So which can be written as, this is in terms of probability. So I write this term as means probability of A intersection B plus probability of this term plus probability of this term, means whole term can be written as probability of A union B plus this term as it is probability of A intersection B. So probability of A plus probability of B is equal to probability of A union B plus probability of A intersection B. I send this probability of A intersection B to the left. So I'll get probability of A union B is equal to probability of A plus probability of B. Since it is positive here, if I send this side, then it becomes negative probability of A intersection B. So this proves our addition rule of probability. So this one. So hence the proof. Next, there is one note here. If A and B are mutually exclusive, then we can take probability of A intersection B as 0, because in this statement we have taken that A and B are any two events of S which are not mutually exclusive. In this statement we taken as these two are not mutually exclusive. If it is mutually exclusive, then probability of A intersection B is equal to 0. Then we can write probability of A union B is equal to probability of A plus probability of B, because this term is 0 when A and B are mutually exclusive. If probability of A intersection B is greater than 0, then probability of A union B is less than or equal to probability of A plus probability of B. Next we see what is conditional probability. So let A and B be two events. Probability of the happening of the event B when the probability of event A has already happened is called the conditional probability, denoted by P of, that is probability of B by A. So here there are two events, one is A and another is B. Here A is already happened and B has to be happen. So then we say that this as a conditional probability and it is denoted by B, probability of B by A. And it is also say that probability of B given A. This one is also does say that probability of B given A. Probability of B given A is nothing but probability of the occurrence of both A and B divided by probability of occurrence of the given A. So occurrence of both A and B is nothing but probability of A intersection B divided by probability of A. So when A is given, that is A is already happened. Suppose B is already happened, then we write like this: probability of A given B. So probability of A intersection B as it is divided by, now it is given is B here, so probability of B. Next, multiplication rule. Probability of A intersection B is equal to probability of A into probability of B given A. Here probability of A is should be positive. This is called as a multiplication rule of probability. If A and B are two independent events, then we write probability of B given A as probability of B. So from this we can write, if A and B are two independent events, then we write probability of A intersection B is equal to probability of A into probability of B, because if these are independent, then this term can be written as probability of B. Now we have an example here. Suppose a cubical die is thrown. The sample space is, as we know that cubical die consists 6 spaces, that is 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. 5, 6. So our sample space is all possible outcomes. Here outcomes are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So sample space is equal to this. Let A be the event of getting an odd number. So there are, here we are taken one event A which getting an odd numbers. Here odd numbers are 1, 3 and 5, and B is the event of getting number less than 4. So B is the event of getting number less than 4. Less than 4 means here B is 1, 2, 3. B is 1, 2, 3. So probability of B given A is the probability of getting a number less than 4 being odd number, because we have to consider here both events B and A. First we have to take here probability of B given A is getting a number less than 4. Means B is what here? Getting a number less than 4. So first we have taken being a number, getting a number less than 4. Next, given A. So what is A? Getting an odd number. So it should be less than 4 and it is odd. So probability of B given A is a number which is less than 4 being an odd number. Here we have both the sets. First we have to see getting less than 4. 1, 2, 3 are less than 4 and given A means it is odd. So 1 and 3. So 1 and 3 are here probability of B given A. So now A is nothing but 1, 3, 5 and B is 1, 2, 3. So A intersection B is what? 1 is there, 1 common. So 1, 3 is there. So A intersection B is 1, 3. Next, probability of this A intersection B is what? As we saw in last class, probability of some event is nothing but number of favorable cases divided by number of possible cases. Here favorable cases are what? 1 and 3, that is 2, divided by possible cases are 6, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So possible cases are 6. So it is 1 by 3. So probability of A intersection is 1 by 3. Now probability of A is nothing but here number of favorable cases divided by 3. Here cases are 1, 2, 3. So 3 divided by possible cases are 6. So 1 by 3. Now use these two values in this term. So as we know that probability of B given A is probability of A intersection B divided by probability of A. So this is nothing but 1 by 3 divided by probability of A is 1 by 2, which is 2 by 3. Hence probability of B given A is 2 by 3.